Hello, Star Citizens. This is Captain Zed with Zedexis Gaming, and today we're going to do a review of the currently flyable C8R Pisces Rescue. So first of all, these are my views. They certainly may not jive with your views, which might be different, and that's a good thing. And secondly, I like to try to see if I have any bias towards the ship, because all ship reviews are biased in some way or another. But I think with this ship, I don't really hold a bias one way or another. I don't love the ship. I don't hate the ship. I think it does what it does. So with that said, let's get started. We will do walk around tour. We will then take a look at what the ship can do. We'll take a look at combat. We'll take a look at delivery missions, and then we'll take a look at the bunker support and medical gameplay. All right. So, the C8R Pisces Rescue. This is a ship. She's got another ship in the series, the C8X Expedition, which is the that's kind of the standard ship in the series. And that ship can be bought with a game package. This ship cannot. This is just a regular standalone ship. This is the smallest ship in the game that has a medical bed. The only other vehicle of smaller size that has a medical bed is the Ursa ground vehicle, Ursa medical ground vehicle. But for that reason, you can take this ship with its medical bed and kind of use it to put it into other much larger ships, capital ships, to give them the capability of having a medical bed. And or it's really good to use on a capital ship then if you're doing, like, ground missions where you're dumping off troops and you want to have some medical support for them. This is great flying in behind a ground assault team. So all right, so let's take a look at her. I have on the Citizens for Prosperity paint from the Go Die in Pyro event. She does not have any access to anything on the outside of the ship. There's no storage or gun racks or any kind of component access on the outside. So if you go into the ship, you will notice that we do have spaces for components, but we don't have any interaction with them yet. So this ship is not yet seen its gold pass. It will need to be updated for engineering. So it's not there yet. But we have this little kind of entryway, which then we have a door that seals it. So when we do get into the atmospheric stuff, you will be able to seal the rest of the cabin. And we got our tier 3 medical bed here. And we have our medical station on this side. On this side, you've got a little cabinet down here with some goodies in it. And a couple of waters, a couple of med pens. Nothing fantastic, but, kind of fun. And up here we have our storage. This is 2 different boxes of storage. They are only 80K, and oh nope, it's 60K, sorry, and which really is not that big. So I've got a water in one, and then just to kind of show what you can put in them, I did manage to fit a sniper rifle in one. So I've got a sniper and a SMG here. So that fills up 45% of it. So as you can see, you can put, kind of like little extra things in here, but you're not going to fit like full armor suits into this. So this is not really what you would use, like, if you were thinking about running bunkers and looting or something. But you can toss, a couple extra guns and some extra med pens and drinks and, you know, maybe ammo and stuff like that in these things. We do have an extra jump seat, so we have 2 seats in this. There is no cargo grid in this, but if you notice this little kind of cut in the corner here, a 1 SCU box actually kind of fits in that spot, not too badly. But otherwise, putting much of anything else in here, not a lot of room. As far as vehicles goes, it is, of course, technically possible to get a Pulse in here, but I haven't had a huge ton of luck. I've attempted to do that on several occasions and, you know, had some success, and other times I've blown up the ship because, you know, there's no grid and it slides around. And actually tractoring hover vehicles right now is very dangerous. They tend to flip around all over the place. So getting in the pilot's chair. You can see we do have a few physicalized buttons, but other than that, you've got your 4 MFDs in a pretty good location, and your radar in front of you. Vision outside is not terrible. It's, you know, not as good as having like a bubble in a fighter plane, but all in all, not that bad. So that's what you've got for the interior. Now let's go off and take a look and see what else can this ship do, and we will start with combat. Hello, and welcome to the combat portion of the Pisces C8R review. So, can she fight? Well, I don't know. Let's look at the specs here. We have 2 size 1 guns, 2 size 1 missiles, 1 size 1 shield, 1 size 1 power plant, 1 size 1 cooler, 1 size 1 quantum drive. We have 6,250 hit points, maximum SCM speed of 220, 460 boosted, pitch roll yaw of 56, 56, 142. That is relatively weak. On top of that, there's a bug. I don't know whether to call it a bug because CIG has never responded. There are 4 ships in the game. Right now, all ships in the game, with the exception of 4, have a 50% damage reduction to physical damage, ballistic damage, baked into kind of the quote-unquote armor of the ship. And that's been done to balance things in the current flight model. The Pisces C8R and C8X, the Soyun and the A2, I believe, are the only ships that are currently in the data files showing this to be 0. All other ships are somewhere around 50%. What this means is, if you take a bounty mission and somebody shoots at you with ballistics, the Pisces explode like you're on doing a 4th of July. So it's hard to say whether or not this is intended. It's been reported as a issue in the issue council for quite a while, and CIG's never said anything for a response. So I guess we're just going to have to see when we go to the next version of the flight model where we have component damage, and that's kind of making up the HP of the ship, whether or not the Pisces series has a similar level of balance to ballistics as other ships do. So, as far as combat goes, basically this ship is got 2 size 1 guns. She has tissue paper for shields. She has no armor, but she's very maneuverable. So, I like to say I enjoy piloting in Star Citizen. I'm just not very good at it. We're doing a VLRT, the lowest level bounty you can run, and we are coming up against a Mustang. So if I can do at least a mildly okay job of piloting, might be able to do something here. We do have 2 size 1 missiles, but I'm going to try to do this guns only. First, I'm going to try to get a little bit off axis to make sure I don't get... Well, I got its shields down. I did switch out the, whatever the stock guns are for our attritions, because I can't remember what the stock guns are, but they're probably the CF series, which right now are not very good weapons. As far as the attritions are, got much better damage. Alright, I got part of it red. The 2 size 1s, you're not exactly going to burst anything down. Kind of gotta pick your spots, and I'm really being conscious of my shields, and then try not to get hit as the AI throws the big missile called their ship at your head. Good hits, good hits, good hits. See if we can keep up a little bit with the turn here. We did for a little bit. Get overzealous on that one. The ship is quite maneuverable. Can be a little twitchy at times. I just wish it had 4 guns like the Expedition. I got a wing off of him? I think I got a wing off of him.
Target destroyed.
Boom! Well, there you go. Can the C8R Pisces Rescue fight? Yes, it can. In a better pilot's hands than mine, it might be able to do a little bit more, but that's pretty much your limit right there. Is going to be low-level bounties. We didn't take any damage. We managed to not get rammed. So, all in all, successful encounter. All right. I will, that's it for combat, and I will see you on the next part of the review. Hello, and welcome to the scavenging section of the CR8 Pisces review. So, if you shoot down something interesting, what can you do with the CR8 Pisces? Well, you're extremely limited, as you probably have figured out. First of all, you have no cargo space, so to speak. So anything you put in here is not going to lock down to the floor. you don't have a cargo grid, but you do have enough space. Let's see if I can... The other problem is this inner door. So I know a 1 SCU box can fit in here. Not too much of a problem. Let's try to get these to the side. I know that the guns these days are not... There we go. So now we've got inside the door, so the inner door is not shutting on us. So the 1 SCU box will fit right there. Okay. So to answer the question, if you shoot down something interesting, can you scavenge? A little bit, but you're extremely limited by floor space. I would not want to put things up on top of the bed. I think that would be bad. You could put stuff here in this little section between the inner door and the rear door. So, you know, if you found like a cooler or a jump drive or something that you would want to snag, you could do that. But that's about it. That's about all you're going to be able to do with the CR8. All right, on to the next part. Hello, and welcome to the bunker portion of our C8R Pisces review. As you can see, the Pisces is relatively small, and you can fit it just about anywhere when it comes to landing near bunkers. So you can get in close. Of course, you know, once you eliminate the guards at the front here. Now, of course, you have your medical bed, and you have a respawn point, which is very nice. There's enough room. You can dump a couple of bodies in here, as you can see, for looting later. And you can see, you can also get a little 1 SCU box over here kind of pushed up in the corner. Now, this doesn't, you know, again, this doesn't have a cargo grid, so it's going to slide around a little bit. But this does give you quite a lot of looting ability. You can take the box with you, or you can leave it here and, you know, jump out of the area and loot the bodies later. It does have little 2 external storages up there, but they're only 60K SCU, which is not really enough to store much of anything. So, as far as friendly bunkers go, the C8R does very well. All right, on to the next part of the review. Hello, and welcome to my final thoughts for the C8R Pisces Rescue. Overall, I give this ship, on a scale of 1 to 5, a 4.0. I think this is one of the better ships that CIG has produced, simply because of what it... I think it's a good ship on its own, but it's also one of those ships that opens up other things. Recently, I did an org event where we were going to Hathor, and we, you know, dropped off a ground team, and then we had somebody fly down one of these and park it, and all of a sudden, you've got a mobile respawn point. You've got, you know, a mobile tier 3 bed, you know, this little ship fits, you know, pretty well in a Polaris or an Idris or whatever. So in the future, any kind of ship, any kind of larger ship that doesn't have a medical bed, you can put this in and suddenly it does. And then you can also basically take it with your ground team. Beyond that, it's not a bad little ship just for personal use. Not a great combat ship, but otherwise she can do the little box delivery missions. She doesn't have a cargo grid, so she's not really going to do cargo. But when it comes to things like fantastic little bunker runner, you can get a 1 SCU box in it. You can stack up some bodies in it, so you can definitely get away with some loot. And, you know, running bunkers and having a tier 3 bed and respawn point with you, is absolutely fantastic. So for everything that this ship does, and beyond that, it actually serves really well as a little taxi. It's got a jump seat, has a very low reclaim timer. So, you know, if you end up someplace and you don't have a ship, bring this in really quickly. It's just very convenient. She doesn't have a gameplay package like the sister ship, the C8X Expedition does. But for pledge, this ship only costs $65, so it's relatively inexpensive. If you want to, you can rent it in game, and you can buy it in game for only $550,000 at Area 18, which also makes it a great in-game purchase. So all in all, I think this is one of the better ships that CIG's produced, and I recommend that anybody who's got an interest in the medical gameplay or, you know, in bunker gameplay, give it a look. Give it a look and see what you think. The move up from this, you know, if you're moving, you know, up the ladder, so to speak, you're starting to look at ships like the Cuddy Red and the Medical Terrapin, and both of those ships have got some good things going for it. But one thing they don't is this ship, you know, is so small that, like I said, it can fit in lots and lots and lots of big ships, and, you know, capital ships. More capital ships are on the way. So, all right, I hope everybody enjoyed the review, and please leave a like and subscribe and do all the things. If you're new to Star Citizen, I will have my code listed down below the video. Use my code for additional free stuff, or, you know, at least if you don't use mine, use a friend's, use somebody's code, because it will get you free stuff and extra UEC when you start the game. All right, I hope everybody has a great day in the verse.